Welcome to Tea and Tarot with me, your host, Yashna. Each week I'll share what I've learned as I dive deeper into the world of tarot. I've got my cards in front of me, my cup of tea, and I can't wait to share this journey with you. This is Tea and Tarot.
Hello and welcome back to Tea and Tarot with me, Yashna. This week we are nearing the end of our journey with the major arcana cards as we jump into Judgment, which is really a card about reflecting on the past and self-realization, and it's the second last one in the major arcana series. There's just Judgment and the World left, and yeah, let's jump into it. This is crazy. In history, the oldest tarot deck showed one or two angels calling the dead from their grave, usually showing three different people at different stages of emerging. In the Visconti Sforza deck, we see the walls of a city showing the dead exist in another territory. It's reminiscent of how death was depicted and how the figure of death traveled outside the main city walls. There's a tiny bridge between two angels and water running under it, perhaps representing the river Styx, which carried souls of the dead to the underworld. Again, very reminiscent of how the card death also portrayed that imagery, portrayed passing to the next chapter of your life, passing on to the next phase of life, and now Judgment is kind of resurrecting you from death. In some of the Renaissance cards and decks, the angels are replaced with God. In most decks, the dead are naked as if to be reborn. They are pulled forth with their past presented for judgment, so they may release it and be complete before stepping into the last card of the major arcana journey, the World. In the Rider-Waite deck, the card depicts Judgment Day, where the souls of men are awakened by an archangel's trumpet call and judged before God. The dead are rising, embracing this moment of resurrection where they will be called to evaluate their past actions. The archangel is Gabriel, who symbolizes awakening. The flag on his trumpet is from dragon-slaying St. George, a patron saint of England who's linked to the archangel Michael. As a result, the archangel can be seen as an embodiment of both Gabriel and Michael. The call of the trumpet is a jolt to resurrect the past and make a decision. Heralds blew on trumpets to signal wars and signify important figures, so it presents that same importance and urgency with the call being made here. The dead rising are resurrection and rebirth embodied. There are two groups of three, each with the man, woman, and child, showing each group in different stages of the past. The open coffin represents transformation. The sea is a symbol for purification and how water can help wash away the past and forgive it. And the glaciers in the background represent a paradise, a new world to be born into. So that's the Rider-Waite deck. Looking at the Light Seers deck, I am going to start by reading the Judgment story from the Tarot for Light Seers guidebook. When the call sounded, it was unmistakably hers, harmonic, vibrating, magnetic. She heard it resounding through her soul, beckoning her with its emotion and truth. There was nothing she could do but stand up and listen. Nothing could keep her from meeting this part of herself. It was time. The call asked her to listen deep within and to find her sacred why. It beckoned her to truly dedicate herself to its path. She's known what it's like to live a life based on fear and to live inside of that box, that category, an illusion. She walked that path for so long it felt like other people's ideas of who she was became more important than her own sense of self. But she has finally seen how far she strayed from her true nature. Here, she witnessed herself, her true self, for the very first time. Light and shadow revealed. And in the shadows of this reckoning lies the profound wisdom of judgment. She could never push the truth down so far that it would truly disappear, and that all of those past actions, thoughts, and decisions remained bundled inside of her sense of self, and that it was up to her to decide their meaning. Her honest self-evaluation called her toward new levels of self-realization and ignited her purpose. And when she awakened to her true nature, she realized that the only form of acceptance that actually affects our ascension is that which lives inside of our own hearts. In the card, you see a woman who has her eyes closed, her arms are out, and from her kind of comes a dancer version of herself, kind of looks like her soul. The soul dancing, taking flight, is representative of rebirth, answering the call of your higher self and the cosmos, understanding new meaning after challenging times, the growth that comes after self-awareness and self-judgment, the shedding of old ways of being. She is seeing her soul, which kind of represents major shifts and new ways of understanding spirit, life path, and purpose. Her head back with eyes closed shows that she is in surrender, reverence, transformation. There's a note from Chris Ann that says, I always imagine her as kneeling and praying. You can't see the bottom half of her body, but that is how she is meant to be envisioned. And the lights from above are spirit, source, epiphanies, downloads, and spiritual awakenings. The general meaning from the Tarot for Light Seers guidebook is face the music with your true voice and find the clearest of harmonies. The more optimistic meaning from the book is, hello essence, I invite you to show up every day. I invite my soul to shine unapologetically. The general meaning from the Rider-Waite deck is look back with pleasure. In the Light Seer position, Judgment is about self-realization and understanding, spiritual awakening, redemption, knowing your motives and your heart to be true, total transparency, soul searching, a glorious unveiling of spirit, or an epiphany. In the reverse, Shadow Seer, it can mean self-doubt, hiding behind many masks, a reckoning, a need to let go of a shadow aspect of your story, denying yourself and your loved ones the experience of your true nature of essence, or harsh self-judgment. So now, reading Judgment's message from the Tarot for Light Seers guidebook. You have known Judgment in the past, both as one who judges and one who has been judged, and you are now at a place where the only awareness that really matters is that which you bestow upon your own actions. To truly raise your vibration, you must send healing approval to your own heart from a place of deep compassion and integrity. When you are being completely honest, are you doing your best with others and with yourself? It's time to shed any negative facades that have been holding on to you and to drop the masks behind the masks. No more faking it. It may feel risky, yet this profound act of self-acceptance will unleash your absolute essence in a brilliant display of authenticity. You are, sweet light seer, stardust and life. You are light, shadow, matter, and consciousness, and you are a miracle. Why then do you keep your true nature hidden away from the world? If you are holding on to any disdain or doubt about your divine nature, there is no way to really understand your full potential until you are open and honest with your own heart. To expand and evolve requires a colossal forgiveness of the self. Forgive your beautiful soul. Accept your beautiful heart. And as you do, you consciously answer the call of your highest self, and the vastness of your horizon will make itself available to you. So that's kind of the general interpretation of this card. Like I said, this is all about self-realization, understanding, kind of reflecting on your past and using that to help guide you towards final completion in your journey. For love and relationships, this card could indicate you're being too judgmental of each other or trying to throw blame at each other, which may be causing more tensions and issues. It's important to sit down and take time to talk and foster more open communication instead. It could also indicate you feel judged for your relationship status, but you need to learn how to brush that off and just ignore that judgment. Don't let others' opinions cloud what's important to you. In the reverse, it can mean you're avoiding making a decision because of self-doubt. Take time to evaluate your relationship till now and make a better decision. For money and career, this could indicate that you're going to be evaluated. Be careful how you present yourself and be prepared to take a look at some past decisions you've made and rationalize why they we're done that way. Similar to what I said in love readings, in the reverse, it could mean you're avoiding making a decision, but don't let that self-doubt paralyze you. For a health reading, it's usually an indicator of being on the path to recovery and entering a time of healing, having learned from past pain. In the reverse, it's an indicator to let go of negativity that may be holding onto you or clouding your path to recovery. Path. What does that even mean? Path. And then finally, for a spirituality reading, this card is an indicator of evaluating karmic lessons from your past and using that to reach a point of spiritual awakening. In the reverse, it can mean you don't want to learn those lessons, but should open yourself up to what it could mean and really try and take in those karmic lessons instead of shutting it out. And that's Judgment. That's a breakdown of this card. I don't have many other interesting tidbits or trivia. I'm actually starving right now, and I can smell some food that I've put in the oven while I was recording this. So I am excited to take a break and go eat some food. But when I'm back, I'm going to do the Essence and Magic spread from the Tarot for Light Seers guidebook. And this one is a spread about finding your true nature and really taking in some of those lessons we were just talking about on reflecting on your past and then using that to guide your next steps. So stay tuned and I will be right back. Hello, welcome back. I am doing the Judgment spread from the Tarot for Light Seers guidebook. The spread is called the Essence and Magic spread, and it is for awakening your true nature. So for the spread, I will be drawing 3 cards. I don't have Judgment out for this one, so I'm just going to start by shuffling the deck and just getting ready to draw the 3 cards that I need for this one. I already pre-shuffled the deck a little bit, so I'm not going to shuffle it a ton for the spread, but I'll give it those 2 little shuffles, and now it's basically ready to go. And for today's spread, I think I'm just going to split the deck in 3. So I've already got the first one, and then my second card, and then third. So to pull them out, the first one is for self-reflection. For this, I have pulled the 4 of Cups in reverse. Interesting. The second one is self-forgiveness. For this, I have drawn the Queen of Pentacles in the forward position. And then the last one is for your higher magic. For this one, I have drawn the King of Pentacles in reverse. Cool. I'm going to take a quick look at some of the deeper meanings for these cards, and then I'll break it down with the spread. Okay, so breaking down the spread, the first card, self-reflection, is meant to be key areas in your life to reassess that would help your personal transformation. These could be patterns of behavior, attitudes, beliefs, etc. This one's kind of interesting because it's the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups is kind of about apathy and disinterest, not finding things interesting around you anymore. In the reverse, it could really be an indicator of complaining a lot, generally like disconnecting from the world around you and just not trying to solve the situation, but instead just kind of complaining about it. And I think where that kind of fits into the self-reflection part of it and behaviors and attitudes that need to be reassessed is I do like to complain a lot. So I think the 4 of Cups in reverse is a lesson of not to do that as much and to not just complain about the situation around me and instead also focus on how I can change things if I'm feeling a lack of interest or a lack of motivation. Like, what are the things that I can do to change that? Where can I change it? And I won't harp on that one too much because it actually connects pretty well to the King of Pentacles, so I'll get to that. The second card, self-forgiveness. What do you need to release and forgive? What regrets or burdens can you release? This one, I drew the Queen of Pentacles. which is a card about feeling secure and comfortable, feeling confident in your situation, and feeling safe in your space. I think with what regrets or burdens can you release, the Queen of Pentacles sends a message of to protect your energy and protect this safe space that you've created for yourself. And you don't need to be worrying about material possessions as much. You don't need to be worrying about material things. Just feel comfort in where you are right now. I think with like release and forgive, it's kind of more pointing towards what are the things in the past that didn't make you feel that way and letting go of that a little bit so it's not holding you down. And then lastly, the third card, your higher magic. This is for keys to awakening your highest potential and expediting your magic and your higher calling. For this one, I have pulled the King of Pentacles in reverse, which is kind of interesting because the King of Pentacles in reverse can be about overindulging. It can be about focusing too much on material possessions, kind of similar to the Queen of Pentacles, and really drives towards being a workaholic and letting work kind of take over your life too much instead of finding a balance and focusing more on your dreams. So in terms of keys to awakening your highest potential, I think this card's message is really about what are your dreams and are you allowing yourself to dream your biggest dreams? Have you laid out a path for your biggest potential, your biggest path forward, or are you kind of just letting yourself be lost in your work and you're not letting yourself tap into your own interests and what you want to do as a person? I think that's kind of the biggest message that comes from the King of Pentacles, which kind of ties back to the Four of Cups really well with self-reflection, because that card was all about what is causing your disinterest, what have you been complaining about a lot recently, and the King of Pentacles says to take that apathy, to take that disinterest, and instead look at what does inspire you. What are your dreams that would cause your interest to spark anew again? So I think those really connect well, and where the Queen of Pentacles kind of serves as a reminder in between is to just protect your own energy, protect your self-interest, create that safe space for yourself as you dream bigger and you look towards what you want your future to hold. And that's a hard question. I'll be honest. I don't know if I have an answer to that. I kind of am a bit of a workaholic. I spend a lot of my time and energy at work on a daily basis, and I haven't given myself time to think about what else I want to do, what would come next after this chapter of my life. So I definitely do use that as my comfort blanket and kind of lean in towards it a lot. So it's a good reminder to not lose interest in my own dreams, my own personal goals, and to reevaluate that, to think about where I want to be in 5 years, because I haven't done that exercise and thought about that in a while. So this is a good spread and a good reminder for it of, while Judgment is a card about looking to the past, in this moment, it's actually a good reminder to look towards the future and to reevaluate my dreams and what I'm hoping to achieve in order to hit that next goal and to achieve my higher calling. And that's it. That is the breakdown of Judgment. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode, for joining me this week. Tune in next week. I will be doing an album breakdown instead, taking a little pause from the major Arcana journey as we only have one more left. There's only one more card left in this. So tune in next week for another album breakdown, and then the week after that I'll be breaking down our last card in this journey, which is the World. So stay tuned, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to Tea and Tarot with Yashna. This episode was produced, hosted, and edited by me, Yashna Bensel, and brought to you by Tea Time Podcasts. The tarot reading was done using the Light Seers deck by Chris Ann, and all card visuals were from the Light Seers deck and the Rider-Waite Smith tarot deck. Research was done using Wikipedia, The Ultimate Guide to Tarot by Liz Dean, Tarot for Light Seers by Chris Ann, and many, many Google searches. Music was made using SoundRaw. Join me next week for another episode of Tea and Tarot.